Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final group preview from the main event. I'm Daniel.
And I'm Aaron.
Thought I might throw you off with that one, Aaron. So we've left this one to last. I know it's dirty, dirty behaviour to keep everyone wanting more by having clearly what is the best group last. However, it did also help to actually have as much information from these as possible, as it's going to be narrow margins. Aaron, how excited are you for this group?
On a scale of 1 to 7, it's a solid 6.8.
Ooh, not a seven, not an actual seven.
Not yet.
Why not?
It's because I haven't heard the Champions League anthem on the Tuesday yet, because these are Wednesday
Oh,
games.
I just want to get up to like a 6.8.5. uh, that's not a real number. Aaron, we'll start with the top seeds. Bayern Munich. Just quickly go through some transfers. Transferred out Nianzou, Richards, Leva, Tolisso, Roca, Schuler. The transferred in Delict, Mane, Gravenberg, and Mazraoui. Do you want to go through how they've been getting on?
Scoring lots and lots and lots and lots of goals. They've won every game except one, which was against Mönchengladbach last week in the Champions League. Not in the Champions League. That shows how excited I am. I'm just ready.
Yeah,
In the Bundesliga,
who scored that goal so I can get them my teammate?
it was Sane.
Ooh,
Uh,
too expensive.
so, and then they played in the Cup, won 5-0, and they
Cups
still
don't
played.
count. Cups don't count
I
for
was about to
in
say,
the
but they
German
still
league,
played
don't count.
pretty much a full strength team. So that's fun. Poor Viktoria Plzen. But I think obviously the biggest thing is the fact that Bayern Munich and Barcelona both in this group. What's Lewandowski going to do? Mane being like basically filling in that role completely. He's the penalty taker, as it seems right now. He is also a midfielder in the game, which is
Juicy. Juicy is the word
definitely
you're looking for.
at 10.5 as well. So he's cheaper than Salah. I think I prefer Mane over Salah,
I suppose it depends on the fixture, but yeah, I'd probably say that as well.
especially when it comes to match days 3 and 4.
Yes.
Um, but in terms of that, I think they're still trying to find out what the best kind of support for Mane is. Um, as always was the case, who's going to be the wingers, Gnabry, Sane, or Coleman? Gnabry seems to be starting up front a little bit more often if Muller isn't playing, but they've been changing kind of the formation, whether they play two up front, whether they play like a 4-5-1. But Mane is always the striker, and
Yeah.
I think people are potentially overthinking it with Mane because Mane, even though he wasn't like the main player at Liverpool, that was always like Salah. He's still very, very, very good, and filling in that Lewandowski role, being cheaper than Lewandowski, and being a midfielder, I think we're overthinking it. We're trying to justify not having him.
Mm.
Um, Granted, I do not have him the same way I did not have Lewandowski last year.
But I think that's a fixture thing as well, surely. Like in that first game, there's better 10.5 million picks than Mane for that first game. I think once you get past that,
Yeah, I
fine.
do plan on getting him. I think he's one of my match day 2 transfers. Um, because I'm going to go from Sterling to Mane. But it's literally just because that first match day is really good for a
Yeah.
fixture. But that could come back to haunt me the same way Lewandowski has haunted me ever since.
I mean, that's your own stupid fault, isn't it?
Yeah, Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Thank you for that. In terms of the rest of the rest of their players, though, in like who people are choosing, I think that's quite important. I don't know. I mean, Nathan goes on and on about Muller, doesn't he? So,
Yeah, I mean,
but he's a 10 million forward. I think that's way too much. Um, Kimmich is still the most highly owned player for this team, even though he's been moved to midfield. 6.5, 20% owned. Davies getting a price reduction, which is probably right, to be honest. 5.5. He is also 20% owned. And then after that, it goes Mane 12, Neuer 11, Sane 10, Pavard and Delict 8 and 7%.
Don't know what the hell people are watching.
No. I think the biggest
ridiculous.
Musiala hasn't played since his injuries. He started the season off really, really well. So I think people need to get him out their team. Gravenberch being 5.5. I'm pretty sure that Sabitzer is their starting centre mid lately at also the same price.
The last 4 games in centre mid.
So 1% owned for him compared to Gravenberch being 5%.
Yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly fly through what their teams have been. So instead of me just shaking my head going, what the hell are people doing? And you speaking with utter disdain, maybe people can get an idea why. So this is the last 4 games. They've won 6-1, 2-0, 7-0, but drew the most recent game 1-1. Neuer's played every game in goal. Let's start with the fullback situation. Pavard's played all 4 games at right back and has scored. Davies has played 3 games at left back, rotated for 1 with Lucas Hernandez, and has done nothing. And Pavard's cheaper, and Pavard generally gets more points than Davies, I think. Obviously, we can't compare last season because of Davies' heart condition. He didn't play for a lot of it. But if I was to put money on it, Pavard's getting more points than Davies, and he's 0.5 cheaper. So if you've got Davies, go to Pavard. Upamecano's played all 4 games at right-sided centre-back, so if you want a centre-back, go for him. Hernandez has played 3 of them because he was moved to left-back for 1 of them. De Ligt played 1 game. He did score in the game, fair enough. He's always a threat from set pieces. But he's got to start first, so I wouldn't be going for him. The 2 centre mids have been Kimmich, who's got a goal and 2 assists in his last 3 games. At last is the midfielder. Thank you, because I've got no interest in going anywhere near him now. Because if he was a defender, I'd have him in my team again. Sabitzer, all 4 games. He did get subbed off in the last game for Musiala, and when he came on, Musiala got the assist for the goal. And then everything else is a bit of a mess. It's because of the formation change. They played 4-4-2 twice. They played a 4-2-3-1 once, and they played a 4-2-2-2. Pick the bones out of that. Musiala with, how many goals has he got? Yeah, 3 goals in those 2 starts before getting injured, and then came off the bench to get that assist, like I mentioned. Leroy Sané has played the last 2 games. Yeah, 2 out of 4. Scored in both. Kingsley Coman has started 2 of the last 4 in the last 2 games as well. He's got a goal, an assist, and won a penalty. Like I say, Musiala started on the left for 1 of those games. Muller's played. He's got 1 goal out of all of his starts. Gnabry has been in and out. He's played central attack midfield. He's played up front. He came on for Muller. He's got 2 goals and 1 assist. But Mane up front every game has 3 goals. 1 of them was a penalty. Like I say, that's just for the last 4 games. So, as ever, Bayern Munich are an absolute total nightmare to predict. Nightmare. I don't think I'd be going for Gnabry. Just he doesn't seem to be first choice. It looks like Muller and Mane will play up front, and Gnabry's going to come off the bench for Muller to kill people once they've been running around like lunatics trying to defend all these attacking players for 70 minutes or so. You're right. Sabitzer playing all 4 games in the middle at 5.5 looks nice, but I still think I'd rather have Kimmich for the extra million because Kimmich actually does something. I mentioned Pavard being 0.5 cheaper. I suppose we've got to look at the attacking players. Sané at 9, Mane at 10, Coleman at 8, and Musiala at 7. So you have one player at every price point. I don't want any of them for Inter anyway. That's it, first game, right, isn't it? Inter? Yeah, I don't want any of them for Inter anyway. Not that I think Inter are this amazing team, but I just think there are better fixtures to target for the prices. From match day 2, regardless of who they're playing from then on, I think we'll have a better idea who's going to start for them in the Champions League and in the league and sort of get some patterns on how Nagelsmann's going to look at things. And if Musiala's playing for 7 million, I think he's the best value, not just because he's cheap, but he's equaling everyone else in terms of output anyway. But yeah, Mane is the standout. He's playing every game through the middle. And I think if Coleman or Sané play, they've got every chance of getting attacking returns. But I just don't know if they are. Mane is the only one that I'm thinking, you're playing. The rest, I've got no idea if they are or they aren't. And you've been there. People that are watching this have been there. People in all my Twitter groups have been there. That moment, like 5 minutes before team news is meant to be out, when someone releases the Bayern Munich team news, and like the absolute circus around which players are starting between Sané and Gnabry and Coman is a joke anyway. But add Musiala to the mix, it's just heart attacks waiting to happen, and I just don't fancy it for the first game when I can attack something else and then make a more informed decision later on and still end up probably going for Mane as it is. Are you thinking about going with anyone?
I'd probably remove the headache and just go with Mane if I could afford any of them. They just don't. It's just not worth the headache, especially when they play on a Wednesday. If there's an early kickoff, we know who's playing. Yeah, definitely. Like I said, especially for match day. Well, yeah, match day 3, they are the early kickoff. So
I tell you what, that is something special on a Limitless.
I think I just need to double check that it's the early kickoff on the Tuesday. Oh, it is.
Oh, right. I think I may be having a Limitless on match day 2 and a regular wild card on match day 3.
With that Bayern Munich.
Because then I can choose I can stack up on buying this. But then it's that short-term thinking, because I can just make transfers anyway. Oh, you need triple buy-in against that lot. And you're gonna, two transfers you're gonna want at least.
It's in Germany as well, just to make it even more.
Oh, yeah.
I think the people that did the UEFA schedule and play this game.
Yeah, I hope so. That's it. The issue is then the thing is you then stuff for the weekend or the week after, aren't you? When it's like, well, which 3 of these are going to play?
Yeah,
I think you have to have Mane.
Yeah,
because you can always transfer the other 2 out.
And I do plan on having Mane, like I said before, Sterling to Mane is, and I know you shouldn't like plan transfers like that, but it makes sense for my team. Like Chelsea being the early kickoff, and I know that if Sterling is going to play against Zagreb, and then get Mane in after that. But then again, I've not thought about chip strategy too much yet.
Yeah. Also, Chelsea have got Auba now. Another headache.
Yes, 100%.
We'll go. Yeah.
Anything else? I was just in terms of Bayern Munich, like it's always the risk picking the defenders, and I'm happy that they're not priced as like the ultimate premiums anymore, because I think it makes them a little bit more appealing. Knowing that you're not expecting clean sheets and they're priced not like that. But it is frustrating when you do get some of these teams who are like pot 4 and all their defenders are priced at the same thing as Bayern Munich defenders. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Like, where's the I know we've said it in previous episodes. I won't bang that drum again too much, but I just I just wish I was a fly on the wall when they make these prices, and I want to
Yeah.
know what team everyone supports who make these prices.
Into Barcelona, second seeds. They've lost, as we just mentioned, Aubameyang to Chelsea. Serginho Dest went to AC Milan. Mingueza and Longley both out the door as well. They bought in Marcos Alonso, Hector Bellerin, so completely new fullbacks. Koundé, who plays centre back and right back. Christensen, who plays centre back. So effectively, they've got a brand new back four, plus the defenders they've already got. They've obviously brought in Lever, Rafinha, and they brought in Kessie from AC Milan, who was on a free transfer. So 3 games this season, they're sitting third in La Liga with a 0-0 draw, a 4-1 win, and a 4-0 win. So not looking bad, looking much better than last year. Don't look like a soft touch anymore. Ter Stegen has played all games in goal. From there, it's been a bit funny. So for the first game and the third game, they played a 4-3-3. So I'll compare them because it's easier for me to look at in terms of positions. Ter Stegen, like I said, played those games. Araujo played one game at right back. Koundé played the other at right back. Christensen and Garcia played centre back for one game. Araujo and Garcia played centre back for the other. And then Alba and Balde not in the game. I couldn't find him. Playing left back. Gavi, Busquets, Pedri played both of those games. Is the midfield three. However, Busquets got a red card, which might have affected the next game. Rafinha, Lewandowski, and Dembele were the 3 forwards for both games. For the 3-2-4-1, pain in the arse, Christensen came in for his only appearance of the season. Araujo and Garcia were the other 2 centre-backs. So Araujo has played all 3 games just in different positions, and Garcia has played every game. Gavi and Pedri also played. Gavi in sort of CDM, Pedri as a cam. So they played all the games. And Torres came in as another cam, Ferran Torres. Dembele played right wing, Balde played left wing, and Lewandowski played up front. So if we look at what they've got, Lewandowski's got 4 goals in 2 games. Hopefully getting this time, Aaron. Balde's got an assist from left wing, done nothing at left back. So it depends on if the game get him in time, where they're going to play him, how much is he going to be? Is he going to be a midfielder, defender, or forward on the game? Hopefully he's a defender. If he's a defender and he's cheap, he's probably the one to go for. Fatty came off the bench to get a goal and 2 assists in one of the games. Didn't appear in the next game, so we'll have to keep an eye on that. Pedri's got a goal. Rafinha has 1 assist, and Dembele has a goal and 2 assists. So, if we look at this, I think Lewandowski will forever be the standout shout, and especially with their matchday 1 fixture, he'll be getting captained without a shadow of a doubt. Garcia at 4.5 million as a defender has played every game. I think he might be the worst defender that they've got in real life, but on the game at 4.5 and he actually plays. But I'm still not overly keen on these defensively. They have kept 2 clean sheets, but and I think they'll keep a clean sheet in the first game. It's obviously just going to be a bit tricky on predicting who's going to start, especially the fact that they bought a new back 4 essentially. Rafinha is a forward, so that just rules him out entirely. Dembele, though, 8.5 million midfielder, juicy fixture first game. I think him and a Lever double up for match day 1 is on the cards. What are you making of Barcelona?
Obviously, whether you agree with it or don't,
I don't agree with it, Aaron. Shut your mouth.
A lot of controversy over their transfer window, but they look in a lot stronger place than they did last season. So I don't think we can kind of rule them out in terms of contention for the top spot for this group. It is going to come down to the matches between them and Bayern. And they'll come down to who's going to keep their head the most. Do I prefer Xavi as a manager or Nagelsmann? And weirdly, I prefer Xavi.
I don't disagree at
So
all.
Lewandowski against his old team when he literally like did he go on strike to leave?
Nah, he made his feelings clear
Yeah,
that he was no longer staying. But
it'll
no,
be
I don't think
interesting to see what reception he gets.
he went very public with the fact that he wanted to leave twice. One like a few years ago when he was like still good, but not like Ballon d'Or winning good.
Yeah.
I don't know, but you know what I mean. So yeah, he's going to get a reception. That's for sure. They do not like him.
Yeah.
But I think I'll just stir him up. He looks like that cold-hearted assassin that's just going to, screw you. I'll have four. I'll have four tonight.
I think the biggest thing with Lewandowski is just the forward spots. They're just such a headache. So going through who is the most owned forwards, Benzema 50%. I think
Obviously.
that has to be higher. What are teams doing not having Benzema? Haaland 33%, and then Lewandowski 27. After that, it is Mbappe 21, Neymar 14, Messi 13%. So basically, them three first, and then the Paris Saint-Germain forwards. So it's kind of like, would you prefer this forward or this forward? Going through, yeah, Benzema is a must. So then it's two spots remaining: Haaland or Lewandowski or Paris Saint-Germain forwards.
Or Jutla.
Yes, that or Harry Kane, 3% owned. Darwin Núñez is the next owned forward after Paris Saint-Germain, funnily enough.
Lots of scouts that's played in this game.
So it's basically, would you have, if you only had to choose one, Haaland or Lewandowski for this first match day?
First match day, Lewandowski all day against. They're playing Viktoria Plzen, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so, and then it would go down to Haaland or Paris Saint-Germain forward. That's a tough one.
That is really tough.
And that's what I think the struggle
Haaland
is with.
too good. Sevilla Rush, not very good at the minute.
And that's the struggle with Lewandowski.
You know what? You want honestly, you want to speak. What I'd say is, I can't believe I'm saying this. I think fixture-wise, Celtic away is the hardest fixture out the four strikers that you just named. They're playing away, right?
Yeah, but Paris Saint-Germain against Juventus.
Yeah, don't care. Neymar's absolutely on fire. Benzema, did he do much? I'm asking not rhetorically. I am actually asking. Did he do much in the groups last year? I don't think he did now against Sheriff in the first game. Oh, he might got an assist. I just can't remember. Because I feel Benzema and Real Madrid like the pressure, like they're so clutch, such a clutch team. Like it's like Ronaldo, Ronaldo scores like at Atalanta, Villarreal. We're playing rubbish, and then he pops up with worldies. Even Norwich, who are getting stuffed off Norwich, and Ronaldo pops up and scores a hat trick. It's like Benzema's just clutch. Like when they need goals, 10 situations, like that's what he's got. So maybe, I don't know, maybe the fact that the Celtic crowd will be like that, maybe, I don't know, I want four forwards. That's what I want. All right. I want Neymar to be a midfielder. I don't understand why he's not. He's not a striker in any way, shape, or form. He plays left wing. He plays where Son plays. I don't know why he's a forward.
So Benzema, I can only really see match day 4, 5, and 6 from last year's group stage. Real Madrid won 2-0 match day 6, and that was Kroos and Asensio got them goals. And I'm just seeing if Benzema got any assists. Carvajal got the first assist. And then Rodrigo got the other assist. Sheriff, he scored.
Yeah.
Kroos and Alaba got the other goals. Shakhtar, he scored both goals.
Okay, so against Shakhtar, okay, and against Sheriff. So the worst team in this group are Celtic, but away, that's not a soft touch. We've seen them pull out worldies before against good players and good teams. Who else is in that group? I know they're all not great. It's not a great group.
What, the one last year?
No, this year. Who's in Real Madrid's group with them? Celtic,
Leipzig, and Shakhtar.
Yeah, like I'd back him to score in every other game.
Yeah.
But Celtic away, I think is a tough fixture for anyone.
When Real Madrid beat Shakhtar 5-0 in match day 3, he only scored once. So you got four goals. You got 4 goals through the group stage. No, I lied.
I know 5.
He scored against Sheriff. He scored a penalty.
Yeah, he did nothing. Did nothing in the group stages, Aaron. No,
5 goals in 6 games in last year's group
stage. He's obviously class. I've said for a while he's the best striker in the world. I'm not like being stupid. I think Celtic away is a hard fixture, and then I think the rest of his fixtures, he's the best striker on the game, comfortably the best striker on the game. But like, if you I think you probably need Haaland. Like, he's going to be playing, and he's so good. And you're probably going to want, maybe Neymar against Juventus isn't the right pick. Then maybe you go Benzema against Celtic. I think it's Neymar versus Benzema, because you're going to want Haaland and you want to want Lewandowski.
Just depends what the rest of your team looks like. That's 11 million forwards.
Well, that's the thing. You could go for. You could go for Kevin De Bruyne. Budget. You go for Kevin De Bruyne or Vinicius Junior. Dembele is not in that class, although I probably would want him for just the first game. Because I'm happy to have like a really weak, just cheap defense. Like, doesn't bother me. Because I'll go for Benfica players against might be high for defense. Just cheap it out. Things like that for the first game week when you can change it all and get some balance in afterwards. It is a headache. It's because they are the 4 strikers for match day 1, aren't they? Really, Neymar, Benzema. I appreciate it can be any of the PSG forwards. Benzema, Lewandowski, Haaland.
Haaland is just the rotation risk, but I don't see Haaland getting rested in the Champions League.
Nah, I can't. And I see Man City absolutely smashing them to bits. I know that it's only because I think Pep will play his strongest team. I think if he took them lightly at all, I think it'd be a really tricky game. I'm not being disrespectful to Sevilla. I just think Man City opening day, I just think they're going to be, if they play the strongest team, just frightened. Sevilla won't be able to live with them.
Yeah.
On to winter.
Digressed a little bit there.
I know. The last one. This is why we saved it the last, because it is such a headache. I suppose my advice is do what you want. It's a free game. Don't let anyone.
It's either going to be really good or really bad.
Shortly. Right, Inter. You can do Inter. Come on, Serie A lover.
They were doing really well, but then got absolutely destroyed by Lazio. Lazio seem to be a really, really good team this year. And in terms of the table, they're currently sitting in 3rd, and with Atalanta top and Roma top. So that's quite interesting. People keep trying to, a lot of people are saying that it's going to be a 7-horse race for the title this year in Serie A, so it's going to be a good year to watch. Inter have Milan this weekend.
Yeah.
So that's going to be absolutely massive. In terms of players, there's rumors that Lukaku is injured I tried to look into that a little bit more. Couldn't find anything. But Lautaro, who absolutely was the bane of my life in last year's group stage, because I could not get rid of him. I should have just took the -4. It would have saved me a lot more. Well, I would have had a lot less nightmares. And he scored a goal in the last 3 games, so seems to be the one in form. The biggest annoyance with Inter is that they do not play Dumfries and Gersons together. Whenever Gersons gets brought onto the field, within the same substitution window, they bring Dumfries off. Just let them both play. It's really, really annoying. Not against Milan this week, though. Please.
Yeah. Get them behind them two, playing the way they do.
It's just, I just want to see them. I just want to see the full attacking potential of this team.
Dumfries versus Teo is going to be so good.
Yeah. But in terms of like their players on the game, I think obviously the forwards a bit overpriced, especially with that whole like tangent that we just went on. In terms of the forwards, so you're probably not going to get Lukaku and Martinez, even though I said they're overpriced. It's just hard to fit. It's just hard to fit them in, especially when they are like match day 2 and 5. Like if you are limitless in potential. But the only issue with that is that they are both getting subbed off like halfway through the second half every game to bring on Dzeko and Correa. So they're not getting the full 90. So that's definitely something that I wouldn't want to have them in. Çalhanoğlu, still a master of set pieces, getting quite a lot of assists. He's got on the score sheet a few times. Dumfries, absolute genius of a player, but I wouldn't bring him in against Bayern Munich. I think that is not a smart decision.
To be fair, Alphonso Davies is going to be so far up that pitch. He's just going to be running in behind one-on-one with the keeper. Like, is that a Tuesday or a Wednesday? It's a Wednesday game, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's a shame. If that's a Tuesday game, that'd be...
For 5.5, he's definitely the pick of their defenders. Like, Skriniar, De Vrij, and Bastoni, all 5.5. Probably not worth it.
What about DeMarco at 4.5? He's played quite a lot, hasn't he?
Yeah, I just think his place is under threat in the long term. Obviously, once Gersons is back up to fitness.
Yeah. But he's played 4 games in a row, but he's changed position. No, he's played centre back twice in a back 3, and he's played.
I think that was at the expense of De Vrij, I believe. So it's Skriniar, Bastoni, and DeMarco, I believe.
It was at the expense of Bastoni. Bastoni missed 2 games. Bastoni played in the 3-1 loss, and then DeMarcos came in for the 3-1 win. I don't know if that was an injury or anything.
I haven't heard anything. 4.5, that's a pretty good shout, to be fair. I think the thing with Dumfries is that obviously they substitute the wing back, so Darmian could be the starter. We just don't know. Really don't know. I think the only player who I think is 100% safe is Barella. But would you have him 6.5? I mean, he got a goal and assist in a game recently, but I think he's the only player who's like 100% safe to start. Whether he gets brought off or not, I don't know. That kind of just depends on the match, but I think he's the only guaranteed starter every game. Him and Handanovic potentially.
What about Shelley, De Vrij, and Skriniar for starters?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You got me on that one.
Yeah. So I'd say Skriniar 5.5. I'm sure he got a player of the match, and he gets ball recoveries. And De Vrij's usually They're both threats from set pieces. So I suppose it depends on who they're playing. Obviously, you probably don't want them defensively against teams like Barcelona, but
even Bayern Munich, the first match might be a bit tough.
So, but against the last team, which we'll move on to, Viktoria Plzen, you want to be targeting these. And now they can do whatever they like in their league, but I tried. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. For anyone that saw the last podcast with me just giving up on Maccabi Haifa, this is what did it for us. So wrote down the previous results: 2-1, 2-1, 1-0, 3-0. So winning 4 on the bounce. But as I went in, their team just changes all the time. I think Stanek is the goalkeeper; he's consistent. The rest, just like, I'm not having any of this. I'm not wasting my time writing out 4 completely different starting 11s to then have no intention of choosing any of their players in the group of death. You can make a case for teams like Maccabi Haifa when they are going to be playing Benfica and Juventus. These are playing Inter, Barcelona and Bayern Munich. In what reality do you want to pick players from the team that are only second in the Czech league? I'll let you take over from that, Aaron. It broke my spirit, this one.
I'm sorry, Dan. But the biceps looked good when you're stretching just there.
Oh, thanks. I'm not being 4 weeks either.
But no, I think that's probably like similar as before. Sorry, fans of that team.
And that's it. Out with a whimper on the groups. But we don't want to waste your time. And that is all the groups done. Thanks, Aaron. It's been a lot, obviously, trying to get all the information together, trying to wait for the information to actually be in with games left, right, and centre. Do we wait a day? Do we not wait a day?
Transfer deadline day in there as well.
Deadline day, shocking. So some of the information that we've given is already out of date. So apologies for that. Obviously, there's only so much we can do. We will be back. I will be having Fantasy Football Ed, FF Ed, on for a Meet the Manager special. We'll be dropping that before the season starts. I'll also be writing for Fantasy Football Scout this year, just in terms of team reveals, and I'll be doing some written previews a little bit more concisely than obviously going through every group like we have done here. Myself and Lewis will be on a Spaces on Twitter on Monday night, just with the amount of teams that we've got to get through. And with early kickoffs now, we're not going to get through 32 teams in 45 minutes from 5 o'clock on a Tuesday anymore. So maybe we'll go back to Tuesdays for the knockouts. We'll have to figure out how things go. But here's the FPL reaction. I am at UCL Fantasy Pod, which is this account for us, Aaron. Aaron, where are you at? We'll never plug you.
Aaron_Graydon.
We'll also be doing live streams on Tuesdays and Wednesdays now. So as soon as the games are finished, we've had a chance to catch up on all the goss, the news, the scorers, assisters, everyone from Atletico Madrid that's been sent off that week. We'll be jumping straight on, giving our reactions, seeing how our team are doing, any moves we might want to make as well. And that's just going to replace our reviews. So lots of content coming up for everyone. Thanks so much for sticking around throughout all of our group previews. You'll be able to see us here on YouTube. And if you jump on Twitter, go to at UCL Fantasy Pod. You'll get our link tree to our socials as well. Aaron, your personal socials aren't on there yet, but if you want anything added, just let us know. Okay.
Appreciate it.
High demand. So we'll get your OnlyFans on there as well.
Oh, thank you.
That's actually
that's building up actually.
Thank you so much. Best of luck for the new season. Hopefully the nonsense that we've been driveling for the last 8 episodes is in some way useful. Have a good night. Bye now.